YouTube, and welcome to this edition of Race Car Fabrication and Restoration. I'm Ronnie Humphrey, and we got old buddy back here. He made an intro video this time. How about that? He's working and I'm talking as usual. But hey, appreciate you guys joining us today, and welcome to all of our new subscribers. Again, another fantastic few days of new subscribers joining the channel. Appreciate that. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button and that like button. I greatly appreciate it. As you saw in our last episode, we got caught up on a lot of little small items on the Buick Regal, and we're going to continue on today. We're going to start looking at some of this electrical stuff real hard, and hopefully get this thing where we might be able to try to get the motor to turn over. So, sit tight, fasten your seatbelts, and let's see what we can get done. All right, to start things off today, we got the master electrician here. Is working. We went up to the auto parts store and picked up one of these optimal batteries. So if you feel like you want to make a donation to the cause, don't hesitate. Send us some money. I see Buddy's putting in an inline fuse here, Buddy. Why did you do that?
In case the box shorts out, it ain't gonna smoke the wiring harness back to the battery.
Okay, while Buddy's working on the wiring for the ignition box, I'm gonna go ahead and take this dash out. You see down there on the oil line coming out of the block, we went to a bulkhead fitting there. So what we have to do is just go from there to our oil pressure line. The same thing on the fuel pressure, coming off the fuel pressure log, that bulkhead fitting. We'll go from there to our fuel pressure gauge, which is on the outside here. This may be okay. I'm gonna clean it out real good, run some brake cleaner through it. Actually, it looks pretty good. A lot better than what I first originally thought. So we're gonna clean it though. I wanna make sure this thing is totally clean. So now, let's do the same thing on the fuel pressure gauge. Oh yeah. Now we're gonna see if we can route this water temperature gauge. Now we're going to try to get this oil temperature gauge run through here. Okay, we got the fuel pressure line and the oil pressure line tied into the bulkhead, and when we get the dash a little closer, we'll tie them into the gauges. And then we got the water temperature hooked up on this side. I ran them through the same hole down here. We got a grommet through the firewall. So all the holes in the firewall are starting to get plugged up, which is a good sign. And then we'll tie in all this wiring here for the switches and stuff. This will come off the MSD box. So I had still had to decide what we'll do about the lights. I'm 50-50 on whether or not to put the lights in the gauges or not. I think I may have some in there. If I have some, we may put them in there. But I just don't really see the need. I do want to go ahead, I was talking to Buddy, I'm going to go ahead and put, I got a new warning light. I do want to go ahead and wire it in to the solenoid here. And we're going to put a hole right here. I do want to go ahead and put a oil pressure light on the car, just to be safe.
Flip it up.
Okay, the second switch I'm gonna flip up, and there is power to the MSD.
Okay.
So I'm gonna turn it back off, and there we go. So now we have power to the MSD. And let's check that one to the starter again. Okay, this is the starter switch. This is a spring-loaded toggle switch. Okay, I've got the switch pulled up, and that's going to the solenoid. So, booyah! The switch panel still works after 30-something years. Amazing. Okay, we're going to drill this hole now for this warning light, and that was simple enough. So we'll feed this on the back side and show you what it looks like. Okay, as I was saying, we only had to have a hole that's this size. This just sticks through the dash, and then it just screws into the warning light on the back side of the dash. So this will be pretty simple. And there it is. Then we'll wire that in. I'll give you a close-up here of it. Okay, you can see this is how the warning light went in for the oil pressure. And we'll just wire it here into the sensor. And you also can see that we looked up and found some gauge lights here in my parts room. We only had 3 of them. And Duck kept on digging. I found a 4th one, so it's amazing. So we're totally out of lights now. But anyway, we do have gauge lights now, and we'll wire them all in. Nobody will know that this is not a match, but that's okay, so don't tell anybody. But we'll have the oil pressure warning light, and we'll have gauge lights now all the way across. We're probably not going to put gauge lights in the tack, do the size of it, but we'll probably just let that be. While Buddy's still playing with the wiring, and he's making progress, he's making one hot bus to be able to power everything. And while he's doing that, we've got this alternator in here, and it's tight, but one thing, it's just got a little bit of wiggle to it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a brace off his head down to the alternator. I can show you here. Anyway, from there to there. So I got a piece of this strap here that came off one of our race car bodies. That's why it's got all the red clay on it. We'll get all that cleaned up. I'm gonna make a strut to be able to tie from the head down to the alternator and just take out a little bit of wiggle out of it. It'll probably be okay the way it is, but we'll go this way. It'll be solid as a rock. Okay, I'm gonna attempt to take the drill press. I'm gonna try to make a slot here. We're gonna try to increase up to a 3/8 size hole. Right now it's just a 1/4 inch, so hopefully this will work. And that's how you make a perfectly slotted hole with a drill press. Pretty cool. Now we'll grind off the backside of it and it'll be good to go. Okay, our piece is going to have 2 45s in it, and it needs to be about 5 inches long. I'm going to make it to where it'll have a slot on both ends, so I'll see if we can cut this off here real quick. Okay, here's what we ended up with, and pretty simple, but let's put it on the back alternator and see if it will work now. Not much room in there to get to that.
No.
Well, other than being hard to get to, that's what we ended up with. Uh-oh. Did y'all hear that? I wouldn't even know it. Just listen there. Oh. Ha! He's pulling tricks on me. I didn't even know he was ready to do that. You gotta watch old buddy. Can y'all believe that? You just witnessed that the first time.
That's the first time it's went whoop.
I can't believe it. I was worried about the alternator. He's over there fixing to fire the motor up. But hey, we know we got the power to the solenoid, and I saw him sneaking the battery in there a while ago. I didn't know what he was doing. I thought he was just doing some weightlifting or something, but how about that? Yeah, y'all, live and in person, you hear that the motor does spin over. I'll be right back with you. Okay, buddy has all of the, look at there. Ain't that a thing of beauty? All right, and then if we flip this switch right here, and the tach's already showing 4,000 RPM. How about that? There they go. Yeah, tach's not hooked up yet, but there we go. Well, that wraps up another episode. And man, we are so close to firing this thing up. We have ignition all wired in now, and we just need to add oil to it. We're going to put a kit in the carburetor, and I need to swap out the distributor cap and get some fuel to it, and basically that's it. And we'll be ready to fire this thing up. So you need to stay tuned, because in the next couple of episodes, we're going to crank this thing up, and hopefully, fingers crossed, this thing will run. But thanks, as always, for watching us today. Hope you have a fantastic day. And we'll see you next time on Race Car Fabrication and Restoration. God bless you, and you take care.